Okay, it's a long night trading, so I'm a bit bleary-eyed, but wanted to do another desktop review. I know it's rubbish, but if I don't do it now, I won't remember what happened. Okay, this is Singapore. From Malaysia, it's a real easy, like, cut your teeth, real easy way to like make your first travel, Malaysia down to Singapore. So I'm just going to go through what we experienced, and maybe it's useful if you're thinking about doing the same trip. Okay, so for us, Singapore's mega famous all around the world, so it's an obvious place to visit and experience. You can get there if you're in Malaysia, obviously by air, by train, by road. We opted for driving from KL down into Singapore. I'll explain why later, but if we went again, we'd fly. All right, so here we are on the map, and just if you're not aware, you got Singapore on the very end of the Malaysian peninsula, down here. So here's our KL, up in this top left-hand corner, and for us, we drove down this main road, I think it's the E2, and then into Singapore. Now, first things first, this is why we'd fly. The border to get into Singapore was 4 hours of parking. Well, hang on, the first thing was traffic. Traffic in around this border town was crazy. I think we were driving down on a Saturday, so maybe it was the weekend traffic, and we did ask, and they were like, yeah, this is normal traffic. So you need to park up at the train station, which was full. So then we had to find like a back road car park on some wasteland, and from there try and get a grab back to the station. And then once you're in the station, it's a really weird experience. You get a bus, you go through all the passport control, you get on a bus, it drives you across a tiny section of water, and then you get back off the bus. I feel like there could be a massive improvement to this experience, because it was an experience. Worth doing once, but we're not going to do that again. If we go to Singapore again, we'll go to KL airport, and we're just going to fly straight in. Okay, so let's kind of zoom in. So we did this drive, so KL to Singapore. I think we did it in like 4 hours, four and a half. We stopped maybe once for some snacks. It's a pretty good road all the way down. Malacca is a busy area for traffic, so just be aware of that and the timings you're going to hit Malacca. So yeah, down you come. We just navigated with Waze and Google Maps, no problem. So you come down to, you can see this waterway, and you've got to get into this station. Now, there was no parking in the station, so we had to find like a back. I'll see if I can find it. I can't find exactly where we parked, but you went through the station, said full. You then come back on yourself. We took a left and kind of just drove away from the hub to get your buses. And then we saw a car park, and then it was too far to walk and too difficult to walk because the road network is like octopus legs. It's like 8 octopus legs, 8 octopus, and all their legs. So we had to get a grab in, who dropped us back at the kind of the hub which you cross the border with. So anyway, tickets, immigration, all that jazz, and then they bus you literally over the water and then kick you out somewhere here. We then got the north side of Singapore, didn't seem to be where you wanted to be. So it was straight away a taxi to the south side of Singapore. And it looks small, but that's a good 40-minute drive in a cab. So there's some distance there. That one finger's width is 5k. Yeah, so you've got a good, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25k maybe top to bottom at a push. Hotel-wise, we went for a hotel. We wanted something, if you're from the UK, we wanted that Premier Inn type experience. We didn't want to spend a lot. We just wanted a bed and a shower. And we stayed at the Hotel Grand Pacific. It's in a good location on the south side, right next to the bit we wanted to explore. It was that Premier Inn experience. The beds were clean, shower was good, and good location. So that was fine for us, because literally we just wanted to crash one night and the next day leave. Obviously there's a lot of high-end stuff, and I'm sure there's a lot of lower-end stuff, but that was fine for us. So anyway, as we said, we taxied in, got to our hotel, I think we dropped our bags, and then we went exploring. We, as our first visit, the obvious thing to go and see is the boat in the sky building. Um, that's their iconic. That's their iconic image that you get in so many pictures. Here it is here. So straight away we wanted to go see that because we figured near that would be lots of stuff for tourists. And that is, oh, this is quite a good map. It's a bit simpler. No, let's get rid of that. And then, yeah, near it is, that's a slightly better scene. So you got that boat in the sky, and then you got all the stuff around it. So we'd heard we could get some food in this Satay by the bay. It's basically, taxi drops you off, they know exactly where it is. And it's an eatery where there's about 10 places that do satay chicken, famous dish. And yeah, we dropped off there, found the stall we wanted, got our satay. I'm veggie, so I had some rice and an egg. And then from here, it was all lit up. This whole garden area is lit up. So after eating, we walked down, really beautiful park here. It looks beautiful from the aerial, and it doesn't disappoint. We were super happy, and we felt super safe. Singapore's famous for being safe. It was dark by now, and we had no problem walking down this dark park into there's a cloud forest and then the flower dome. We went in both. Amazing experience, weirdly. Totally not my scene, but they've just done an amazing job. Like the structure, the inside, there's no queue, it's reasonable value. I can't remember exactly the price. But really nice experience. There was a Shake Shack here somewhere. All the kids went nuts, and we had to get the custard. So I tried the crumble and custard. It's actually delicious. So I'd recommend stopping off for that. And then yeah, there's all this to explore. There was a little like gym, outdoor gym. So the kids were climbing all over the monkey bars and trying the bikes and stuff. And then this takes you into the building in the sky. It is an amazing structure. Again, it's totally not my scene. I'd rather have a wave on a beach somewhere, but it was actually really impressive. That was us for the first night. I mean, we didn't get there until like evening to eat, and after walking through the park, it was cab home time. The next day we came straight back because we wanted to go on the observation deck of the boat building, and that is a super cool experience. From up there, the scene, I mean, we kind of, well, I every couple of minutes moved another 20 paces around the top of the observation deck, and just the scene is outstanding. All the stuff that you can see from this observation deck, they've done such a good job. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if you just saw that. Oh, there you go. You can see that building when you're up there. That's super cool. I've never noticed that on Google before. That's quite impressive. We didn't go in this ArtScience Museum. We went another place. Oh, look at this. It's going to wrap all the way around. And there's the boat building right behind it. That's cool. I'm so impressed. Anyway, so we came down, we walked around. There's loads of stuff around here. You can see there's the National Gallery, Mandarin Oriental. I think we tried to go and get a cup of tea there. All this area is good to explore. We went in a mall. I think there was a bit of shopping that the kids wanted to do. This area was definitely good for a day of exploration. Oh yeah, Gardens by the Bay. At night time, this was all lit up. Every half hour, I think, there's like a light show. I wouldn't bother going for I wouldn't make a trip for the light show, but if you happen to be there when the light show is on, fine. Yeah, just around that area, it's all good to explore. And at the end of the day, well, the Sunday, we had to dash back. So it was a cab ride. Again, I think it was around 40 minutes that whizzed you back up, again, back through border control, back on the bus, and then into here, into this big checkpoint. Key thing, if you're not used to Grab, there's a pickup point. When you get to like a massive building, there'll be normally one Grab pickup point. Before you book your Grab, know where the pickup point is. So we were in the building, booked a Grab, and then we exited the building and kind of stood around because we thought they'd come to our location pin. It's a bit naive on our part now looking back, because the guy's like, I'm at the pickup point, and we're like, well, we're at where our like pin is, and because of the traffic, go to your pickup point first, book the Grab. Strongly recommend that, not just in that building, but all buildings. Prices in Singapore, as you'd expect, Malaysia KL prices and a bit more. We did eat at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant in one of the malls. I think we got, like, the kids wanted a burger or something. That was a pricey burger. But what do you expect when you're in a Gordon Ramsay restaurant in Singapore? Safety-wise in Singapore, I don't think we could have felt any safer. On the first Saturday night in the dark park, there was lone females walking, jogging in the darkness, and they clearly had no concern about their safety at all. It's much less conservative than Malaysia, so it was all hot pants and tank tops and like walking or jogging, and they weren't worried about not being covered up. As in Malaysia, I would have been expecting a bit more covering. So yeah, a little bit more liberal. Language, easily, if you have no language skills, English is just fine. Food, it was, I'm not sure what the famous Singapore dishes are, but everything you can think of is there. There were electric scooters dotted about, and I think electric bikes. Had we stayed more than 2 days, we'd have definitely figured out how to get those scooters and those electric bikes, because one, they looked fun for all of us, and two, just to get around a bit more easier. The drive back from Johor to KL on a Sunday night, it was long, it was a slog after whizzing down the Saturday, exploring Saturday night and Sunday. Jumping back in the car to drive all the way back to KL was a journey. Again, that's why next time we might just choose to fly. One of our next trips, after speaking to people, people from Singapore took holidays in Malaysia, and what we found out is that they travel over to this east side, and there are some top-end resorts just inside Malaysia on this east coast. So we are going to explore down here. I think here it is, Desaru. We're going to at some point come and look down here, because that was where they were holidaying, which we found interesting. But yeah, here's Singapore. There's the airport. That's the Jewel Chang airport over this side. Definitely worth a visit, Singapore. Maybe 2-3 days to get the kind of headline areas done, but yeah, you could definitely stay for longer. I just noticed they talk about in the point where you're leaving in Malaysia, you're heading to this place called Woodlands. It makes not a lot of sense, but you'll see woodlands everywhere, and that's where you're going. Oh, just last thing, you don't need cash in Singapore. You can go to Cash Point and get some, but it's so modern, you can just use your card. That's probably the last thing to mention. But yeah, I think that's it. Just a quick one, just desktop review. That was our stay. Cheers. Just for those that are interested, I'm always looking for kite surf spots or surf spots, and the only thing I found was a windsurfing point somewhere on the very bottom of Singapore. But it didn't seem to have a lot of take-up. We were then looking at this island, this sort of selection of islands, Batam, and if we could get some kite surfing here. Nothing yet, but it's going to be a trip for the future. Very last thing, I promise, don't forget to fill out your immigration visa for re-entering Malaysia. So that's your MDAC visa.